Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been a little while since I gave you an update, and I'll explain why, reason why anyway. But wanted to show you the mixing station first. So I'm going to quickly, turn the phone sideways here. I know it's going to be sideways for you guys, but you can kind of tilt your phone, tilt your head. This is my mixing station. It is two 130-gallon vertical storage tanks, and it's connected down here with a couple valves that you can completely take apart. There's unions everywhere that I wanted to have them, just to be able to take this system apart. That's the pump there. I think it's a 960 gallon per hour pump. Does pretty well. And then we come up here. That's the output where I connect this 1-inch inside diameter vinyl tubing, and I can open the valve there and it reaches over to my sump and I can refill the tank really quickly. I installed this whole house sediment filter, and if you can see how I got it set up, unfortunately this is as far out as this phone will zoom, but there's a valve on the sediment filter, and then I got a valve here, so I can just shut this valve, open this valve, and then everything has to flow through this sediment filter. And as you can tell, I'm using reef crystals, salt, and that's a box or box and a half worth of salt. And what I do, since when I run everything through the sediment filter, it really slows the flow. So I'll get everything mixed first in the container, and then run it through the sediment filter for a little while, couple hours. And so this would be the freshwater tank over here, valves closed, and then basically the pump, when I open that valve, sucks from the bottom, goes up, this valve's open, goes into the top of this one. I'm going to show you, if I can, what I did with the pipe in here. Alright, so it's not connected right now, but when I'm wanting to mix things up, connect this here, and as you can see down there, it kind of just keeps stuff spinning. I did drill a hole right there into the side of this, and it does a couple things. One, I didn't intend it to do. When this is full, it sprays out of this hole, instead of just everything going all the way to the bottom of the tank, because when it comes out of this pipe and down to the very bottom, I feel like maybe the whole container is not fully getting mixed, because that's the inlet for the pump down there. So I think maybe the stuff that's at the top maybe stays at the top. So I'll usually take this, disconnect it, and let it fill from the top. And when it's not all the way full, like if I were to turn the pump on right now, no water comes out of this little hole. It acts like a venturi, and it sucks air all the way down to the bottom, which I guess helps oxygenate the water and stuff, and helps it mix. So I mean, unintended just an unintended thing that it does. And this mixing station really helped me to get my tank back on track. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better. So what happened was I guess I was just overconfident in my filtration, since I have the roller mat and a skimmer and the chaeto. I guess I just thought that would be enough, but it wasn't. I was overfeeding all these fish, and I was dosing aminos, and my nutrients just got out of control. And that caused the corals to get unhappy. Started burning tips, eventually started losing stuff. So I tried to get the nutrients down. I was doing daily water changes of like 35 gallons. So basically, actually it was like 30 gallons. So almost 10% water change daily. And then after like a week of that, I did like a 65 gallon water change. And that was enough, along with a giant ball of chaeto in the sump, to get things under control. Last I checked, I got my phosphate down. At one point it was at 0.03, which, you know, people say is perfect. And then it went up to 0.06, which I wasn't worried about. And I checked it last night or the night before, and it was at 0.04. Nitrate down low, like under 5. As you can see, unfortunately, I lost some corals. Some of it stuck it out and is doing good. You know, some of them have burnt tips. Some of them haven't been affected at all. And unfortunately, I'm dealing with turf algae now. And whatever was on the rocks before is pretty much gone. The coralline algae is starting to make a comeback because it was covered up with something for a while. I think I got dinos before I even got my nutrients down. This is just some algae on the sand right now. This looks a lot better than it did for a while. But yeah. So between I was skimming a lot, doing the big water changes daily, and then I was daily dosing Microbacter 7 and Microbacter Clean. I was doing like 75 mils or 70 mils daily. And I have a UV installed now. I was turning that off for like a few hours after dosing the Microbacter, as well as turning the skimmer off for a while, which is a pain in the butt. Having to remember to come plug that stuff back in. And the skimmer went crazy. I searched online for other people having similar problems with their skimmer, and basically like the bubbles weren't popping, and it was causing it to come out the top of the skimmer before it really, you know, turned into a liquid that the skimmer was collecting. But yeah, between all that, water changes, the Microbacter I think really helped. I kind of stopped dosing it now. I might continue to hopefully help it get rid of this turf algae. I've been removing some manually by hand, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. Kind of hard to get it off the rock. Yeah, just wanted to give an update. You know, just hadn't really wanted to film the tank because it just hasn't been looking good, and it's still not, but it's better, and I'm glad I'm on the right track. I think that's all I had to say. These pumps over here, you can see this top one's dirty because I haven't cleaned it in a while. These other ones, these are Gyre XF 280s. I have a 4-inch piece of PVC with a cap on the bottom, and I just put some vinegar. I know you're not supposed to use vinegar, but whatever, and some water in there, and I just let the pump run in there instead of taking it all apart and trying to clean them every time. And as you can see, I mean, it's been a week or so that you can see the difference, how clean it really gets them without having to scrub them or anything. And we got all lights on at the moment, all the LEDs and the T5s cooking pretty good. I've got the material to change out this top, even though I really like it. After using a par meter, I figured that this fabric, it's called tulle, T-U-L-L-E, I think. It actually blocks quite a bit of light, more than what the 1/4 inch plastic netting from BRS does. So yeah, this one had a lot of burnt tips, and it's really coming back strong. Some of them have been unaffected. Like that little frag, I think that might be pink lemonade or something. Some of them are hurting. That's the Dippin' Dots, I think. All the fish are doing great. That's your blue spot jawfish there. All the fish are doing better, getting bigger. Been feeding them a lot less, but they're still look, fat as can be. I'm hoping they'll eat some of this algae on the rocks, but I think there's like nothing that eats turf algae. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Hope you liked the video. Like it, subscribe, all that stuff. I appreciate you watching my videos. Take care.